Hello friends, welcome to my first vlog, and today's topic is demystifying agile in software development. So first of all, when we talk about agile, we need to understand that its uses is not limited to only software development or IT industry. Agile had been used earlier quite extensively in industries like manufacturing, engineering, operations, and today also it's being relevant in all those industries. In general, if you want to learn more about agile and the agile way of working in a very interesting way, like a fiction story, you can refer to a very good book named as The Phoenix Project. In this book, it has been explained quite well through a story which is very interesting to read, and it's quite engaging as per my personal opinion. Now, coming back to the agile software development, primarily this comes in two flavors. One is the Scrum methodology and another one is Kanban. In this video, I would be focusing more on the Scrum methodology or Scrum way of working. So it can be considered as a framework which is being developed using the agile methodology. Now, when we follow Scrum, basically the complete work gets divided into smaller portions which can be identified logically with the help of duration or number of days. These are called the sprints. A sprint can be for 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, but the industry standard says that sprint usually consists of 2 weeks of time. Now, the development team or the project team would divide all their work into different sprints and then will start working on the same. The underlying objective of following the work through sprints is completion of each sprint will give you something logical in terms of completion of a product, feature, or service, also known as minimal viable product MVP. When we follow Scrum, we have sprints and then we have some ceremonies which we need to follow or a Scrum team needs to follow, which includes sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective, daily stand-up meeting. When we are following the Scrum methodology, we have a team which consists of product owner, Scrum master, and Scrum team members. Here it is important to note that within a Scrum team, we do not have a division or differentiation between the developers, the UX designers, and the testers, as traditionally we used to have when we were following the waterfall way of software development. So, irrespective of the role within a Scrum team, everyone is a team member, including the product owner and the Scrum master. Now, product owner is someone who comes up with a vision in terms of what he wants to achieve at the completion of the project in terms of a product or service. Now, Scrum Master is the one who is very well versed with the principles, procedures, objectives of Scrum framework, the agile methodology, and his work is to implement the same while doing the work within the project team. He need to ensure that all scrum ceremonies are being followed, and every work is being done in a democratic way, which is the underlying principle in agile methodology. When we are using scrum framework, there are multiple tools which we can use to manage the project, including Jira or Azure DevOps, where you can document your requirements, you can break down the tasks, you can create sprints, you can track the progress of each sprint. These tools also give you very nice user interface and very interactive metrics, reports, data. There are couple of very important metrics which we follow or which we track when we are using the Scrum framework, which includes your velocity, your burn down rate, which basically means per sprint how much work the team is able to deliver, and in terms of your originally estimated efforts, how much team has already burned, what is remaining. To estimate the work when you are working in a scrum team, there are various ways. One of them is a planning poker exercise, which is basically a game, a exercise which is being done in a collaborative way by all the scrum team members, where they estimate each and every task, also known as a user story, and provide a estimation based on the knowledge or the visibility they have of that particular user story. Then a conclusion is made unanimously in terms of how much effort a particular user story will take, and in this way the entire sprint gets estimated. So we have touched upon Scrum, sprints, various sprint ceremonies, team members, who are the stakeholders in a Scrum team, and at the end, what I would like to call it out here or mention here is this is basically a complete behavioral change. Scrum or agile way of working always calls for a very democratic way of working, a very transparent way of working, an environment where you delegate stuff to other people instead of keeping things only up to you. This is an environment where you proactively go ahead and share the issues, problems, also known as impediments, with your team members, including your senior management, your client, your product owner, instead of trying to hide them till the last point. This is an environment where there are very less scope for surprises, because the team responsible for working on a product or developing a web application or a service, they interact with each other on daily basis, mostly more than once. They collaborate with each other. That is why there is very less room for surprises, because when you start with a sprint, you know after 2 weeks of time, assuming the duration of the sprint is 2 weeks, what is going to be the outcome. And in case there is some problem due to which the outcome cannot be achieved, you as well as the entire stakeholder team knows it beforehand, and accordingly the plans get changed. So it is an approach of mutual trust, mutual respect. So in terms of Understanding it technically, it is very easy. You get hold of any tool, you get hold of one project, and you will be very comfortable delivering projects while working in the agile teams. But the underlying point here which I want to emphasize is, until you bring upon changes in your behavioral aspects of working in an agile way, it is very difficult to get hold of it. Every now and then, one concept or the other, one principle of the other, or any expectation of working in an agile team is going to haunt you in case you will not change the behavioral aspect of what's the expectation of working in an agile team. So I have at a high level tried to touch upon this concept, which is quite detailed in nature, uh, but I will definitely expect your questions, your feedback, your views in form of comments, and accordingly, if required, I can come up with detailed discussion, detailed video on each of the topic or concept which we have talked about briefly in today's video. So I request you to go through this video, provide me your feedback, and do share, support my initiative. Thank you very much.